training stages. I posted an article on this. I forget who he was, but he posted a pretty decent article on stages. I was working on something very similar, but I think he hit the nail on the head. So there's some of you that are on all these different stages in this room right now. And for those new people that are going to watch this video, I want them to preface, I want to manage expectations when you join, because I think that's a big issue after a year or so of training. So there's kind of these 5 stages that people walk through, and I want to go through them with everybody. So stage 1 is kind of this uncertainty and intimidation. We had a guest come in last night, and it happens all the time. She comes in, she's super quiet, she's really nervous, you can tell she's scared. She's like, I heard about CrossFit, I want to try it out. Like, she signs a waiver, she comes in, she stands in the back corner, she's in this intimidated, I don't know if I can do that type stuff yet. She's worked out in the past. Katie, how'd she do? She did. Good. I worked it. Nice. But you could tell, like, in my mind, I'm going, okay, she's right here. Now, she's either going to go, okay, I think I can do it, or there's no way I'm training with these guys are crazy, right? So that is that point in your time as an athlete where you made a commitment to say, you know what, I don't know if I understand all this, it's kicking my ass, but I'm just jumping in, man. I'm just going to go for it. And that leads us to the second one, this kind of all-in phase. I'm just jumping in with both feet. We'll see what happens. Once you get through this, a lot of people get to this kind of, they drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak. They become obsessed with CrossFit. They got the newest nanos. They got the newest lifters. They got all the T-shirts. They're signing up for competitions. They're coming in 5-6 days a week, working their butts off because they really love it. I love that. That has to be managed, though, right? If we don't, we will burn out, which is number 4, either by fatigue or injury. That's what's going to happen. You're going to hit a wall, right, this point, where your adaptation is slow, or you're going to injure yourself because you've been overdoing it. And then 2 things will happen. You'll either quit, or you'll get the right guidance and help, and you get down to this 5th. He called it mastery. That wasn't the word I was going to use, but I kind of liked it. I think mastery kind of works. It's just where you shift into this, okay, I'm over this peak. What do I want to be 10, 15, 20 years from now? I'd still like to be doing Olympic lifts. I enjoy it. If I train my ass off 7 days a week, I won't be doing that in 15 years. So I pulled back and I reevaluate. So a lot of people get here, and this can vary by varying degrees. Some people come here because they went through these at home. They train in their garage or somewhere else, and they went through this process already. Most people never start here, but they either come in at 1 or 3, I think, come into the gym. This must be managed. So if you can everybody identify with one of these? Can you kind of see where you are? Raise your hand if you say yes. You know which, yeah. If not, okay, think about it. But we want to manage, I like obsession. That can be used, this category, it can be used as a very, very good tool. Improving your fitness level, putting in the extra work, but it also has to be pulled back, right? Or you're just going to beat yourself down, beat yourself up. So let's say you've gotten to burnout, which I've had a couple conversations, I should say several conversations over the last few months with people that have hit burnout. They either want to quit, they say, I'm just in an injury, I'm not improving. That's the big things I get. I just don't know what else to do anymore. So how do we break through that? These are just some thoughts I had on some things that I have used and talked about with people. First and foremost is relax and don't stress it. I had one lady member who took basically the last 2 months off, maybe once every 2 weeks she'd come in, but she wasn't even relaxing. She was stressing so hard that she wasn't in the gym that it was almost worse than training, the stress on her body. She was beating herself up whenever she missed a class. She was frustrated because she wasn't eating as clean, and she was just at her wit's end because she was so upset that she wasn't getting in here. So the first thing is just relax, don't stress this, right? What's 2 months of a break over the course of your life? It's negligible, completely negligible. So relax on that. Reevaluate and set new goals. Maybe when you came in, you had a goal to lose 50 pounds, 10 pounds, 5 pounds, deadlift your body weight, and you've hit it. And you feel like you're here again, and you feel like you're plateauing. Set new goals and reevaluate. What am I here for? What's my long-term process? What's my long-term goals? Maybe now you want to look at maybe doing some sort of competition. I don't know. Tough Mudders are popular for people these days. I don't care what it is. What can you set in your 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 months down the road that gets you excited again? Right? Or what's your new goals? What's your process? Reevaluate that stuff. Sit down and write that down. Use your coach. I'm amazed how many people don't use their resources. They just want to quit. And it's like, well, when's the last time you scheduled a skill session? Never. When's the last time you did a nutrition check-in? Never. Have you talked to anybody about your frustrations? No. Well, then, yeah, how do you expect? That's what we're here for. This is our job. There's 12 people on staff here, coaches. That's what we're here for. Talk to someone about it, right? And don't just do it like on the fly after class. Hey, I'm burnt out. What do I do? What? Put some thoughts together. Say, hey, I really like to sit down and talk with you for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Whatever. We'll take the time out and say, here's where I'm frustrated about. And then we'll help walk you through this process, right? Think long term. I've said that before. Be training for the rest of your life, not for the next 2 years. So 2 months doesn't become such a big deal. Exploiting your inefficiencies. This type of training has a unique ability to just exploit all of your weaknesses, right? So some people call getting injured doing CrossFit is simply bringing the mechanical inefficiencies in your movement patterns to the surface. Yes, it can turn into an injury, but before it's ever an injury, it's oh man, that doesn't feel too good. That movement feels a little sketchy. I don't think I can do that. That's a sign of saying, hey, maybe let's tweak something. Let's look at how you're moving, address the mobility issues. There's nothing tough or hardcore about working through an injury. I think that's stupid. If you're hurt, you're hurt. You take a break, or you figure out the source of the problem, because you're just going to compound the issue. It's just going to catch up to you. So, and oftentimes with this too, I'll see people who come in and say, oh, I hurt my knee doing squats the other day. Well, sometimes it's not that you hurt your squats doing knees, it's that you hurt your knee 10 years ago, you just never addressed the issue. And now you've been doing this for 2 months and squatting a lot, and all of a sudden those inefficiencies, that scar tissue is starting to come to the surface. We're bringing forward all that stuff. You can either deal with it now, or you can deal with it when you're 70. I'd rather deal with it now. New activity. I always said CrossFit is, for me, or GPP, whatever you want to call it, is home base, right? This is my fitness path. If there comes a time you're like, man, I think I might want to qualify for nationals in powerlifting. Awesome. Let's veer off this path for however long we want. Let's spend 12 months training the power lifts. Let's get you stronger squatting, deadlifting, and benching. Let's do it. I want to run a Tough Mudder. I don't care. Let's do some more running-based stuff, right? Or obstacle training, whatever that looks like. I want to compete in Olympic weightlifting. I just want to really build my lifts up. Cool. I want to get better at my gymnastics, or I just want to lose weight. That's all I want to do. That's fine, guys. I have many different people on many different side programs in this gym. So they go a little off base, and they'll come back, right? This is back to home base. This just means this is after a fitness that is sustainable long-term and provides just life skills, the stuff that you just want to do. None of us are going to be Olympic athletes. You just want to move well, be healthy, well, for years from now. So that's home base. There's nothing wrong with going off a little bit, or getting a little more. Say I want to do some sort of competition. How can I dial it up just a bit, or change up my focus on my training? But this should be number one. Just have fun. If it's not fun, then you're not going to do it. This is supposed to be fun. We're just exercising for time. That's all this is. Don't put emphasis on the rounds or the reps or the time. Just come in and go back to having fun. It has to be fun or you're not going to sustain. I always say, are they safe? Are they getting fitter? Are you having fun? That's really all I care about, right? You could do things differently in many different ways, and different coaches everywhere will critique everybody else on everything. I don't care. Are you safe? Are you getting fitter? Are you having fun? That's all I'm after. Your recovery process isn't a straight line. There'll be bumps in the road. You may take time off, think it's better, and it's not. And take a step back, right? That may happen. Stop whining about it. Take responsibility for the issue, right? I messed up my upper back and still a little bit of my foot when I was training for the Arnold. It sucks. I had to take a step back. I know I dropped a little bit of the weight that I built up to, but it's just an issue. Take responsibility for it and address it. If you got to take a month off, take a month off. Use your coach. Go to find chiro, a PT. Address it. Just dig into the issue. All right? It does suck and can be frustrating, and it's okay to have those times where you're just upset about it. That's fine. But don't let that dictate your training. And then do what you can, right? Craig Jones is out because of a ruptured patellar tendon from a trampoline. Hopefully he watches this and we give him a shout out. But what's he going to do? He had surgery. He's going to come back, and he already said he's talking about come back in, get some bench press in, do some overhead press a little bit. Do what you can. Work around the injury, right? Nothing wrong with that. My shoulder's messed up. There's actually some interesting research I read a couple years ago about unilateral training. So if I can't use my left shoulder, I can maybe do some dumbbell bench with my right. That can somehow translate into coordination and make both sides stronger. You're not going to completely get weak over here. All right? So that's kind of the approach that I would take on how to, if you feel like you're in this phase, get here. And if you don't know how to begin that, then get with a coach. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to be me. You can be Chanel, it can be any other coach that you most relate to, that you want to talk to. Okay, someone you think that you can connect to. So the idea is we get through there and you get to this kind of state of mastery. You start training intelligently. You have no problem with scaling. You have no problem with scaling. You put no label on that. You go, I'm not feeling that 100% today. That weight's a little heavy for me. I'm just going to use the barbell today. I'm going to train some technique and have a good day. And some days you come in and you're not feeling that good and you don't get talked into overtraining something. You hit the foam roller for 30 minutes instead, right? You're thinking long term. I like this stuff. I want to be doing it years from now. I'm not going to run myself into the ground within a year. Okay? So this is obviously the goal for everybody, and that may change. And I think that you have to get there by mixing it up, coming off that path all the time. I think it helps. If you like to go just play basketball, maybe just taking a break for a month and playing basketball or soccer or whatever it is, doing something that's completely unrelated to a 12-minute AMRAP of push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups or whatever it is, right? Something that you really just enjoy doing. Back to the point of why you want to be active.